pure army here, though, and Monster is able to swing on through.
Champion Yota connected.
Alright, let me just get my webcam set up, and then we'll go ahead and get started in here. Just 1 second. Gotta find where my webcam got knocked off to. Oh my god. I must save it. My desk is so messy right now. Oh my god. Commence heavy breathing and straining. Okay. Found my webcam. Do 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 do. Hooray! Okay. Do 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 do. Trying to get it to sit. Boom! Okay. Ready. Soda cans on my desk. Like I said, my desk is very messy. Ugh. Okay. There we go. Pretty much good to go here. So, today we will be seeing a live lesson. I'm giving a live lesson to Gosu's status. He's about 1500. Donald Penny. Look him up. Hello. How's it going?
Good. What's up? Can you hear me fine?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yep.
Alright, cool.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to like duel and then coach me as you watch me play, or do you need like another account or something like that?
I'd figure we could probably just play a normal game.
Okay, that works too.
Just queue up in a normal game and hope we get bottom.
Yeah.
And I'll
I'm just
support
wondering
you.
if it'll be we have better like the players that we go against will be a little better and better for you for coaching purposes, because if you want, I do have like extra accounts that you use to Smurf on as well.
I mean, either way, like my normal elo is decent. I normally play against like 1600 players in normal games.
Okay.
So it doesn't, either way.
Sounds
really
good to
care,
me. So we'll just make a normal game then, I guess?
Yep. Oh my gosh. Sorry, hold on. Okay, there it is.
Alright, are we good to go?
Yeah. Did you do blind pick or draft?
This is draft.
Okay. I don't really care, but I just wonder. Yeah, so, I mean, what kind of ADs do you like playing? And is there any, like, specific pairing that you want to work on?
Typically my support plays Tarek or Sona. Those are the two main ones that he plays. And then normally playing Ezreal or Corki most of the time. Ezreal, Corki, and Tristan are probably the three ADs I play the most.
Okay. So is there any specific pairing you want to work on? Or are you picky?
I'm not too picky, actually.
Okay.
But any combination of, I guess, Ezreal, Corki, and Sona, Tarek is probably going to be the ones that we use the most often. So,
okay. That's fine. I play Sona and Tarek a lot, so that's all good.
Awesome.
We'll just see what they pick. I like the Blitz ban.
He's kind of upset that he's at work and he's not able to get some of this coaching as well.
It's all good.
I'll relay some of the information to him.
I mean, I'm recording this, and I'll try to talk a lot about the support's role as well.
Mhm.
And he can watch the VOD and hopefully get something out of it.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Oh my god, I just made my title text so big. And I don't know how to fix it.
Are you uploading the video onto YouTube afterwards?
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube. It'll also be on my Twitch channel.
Okay.
I just messed something up really bad on my stream though. I have like a little text for like my team's Facebook page, and I just like blew it up so big that I can't downsize it.
I see. So
Okay.
you guys are trying to get absorbed into a VVV?
Yeah, we've applied for sponsorship. Okay, so I'm gonna play Sona.
Works for me.
Just 'cause I like Sona.
What master?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to fix this, and then I can talk more.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. We don't need that. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Okay, sorry. What did you just say?
Oh, I was just chatting about the VVV stuff.
Oh yeah. So we've applied for sponsorship. We're kind of going through that process right now. So hopefully that works out. We're really excited about it.
Nice. I used to play StarCraft 2, and our StarCraft 2 team got absorbed into VVV.
Oh, nice.
Then I quit and came to League of Legends.
Good choice.
Oh, I didn't quit. Yeah, I quit, came back, joined a team, another pro team called VP, and then they got absorbed into Check 6. Then I quit. Then I came to League of Legends.
I love League of Legends. I never got into StarCraft 2. I've tried a few times, but I don't know. I just never got into it.
I just feel like the time commitment is like, it's just, you need so much more time to commit to StarCraft 2 to remain competitive.
Yeah.
You know, as graduate students, we can't really like always put gaming as one of our top priorities.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Unfortunate, I actually have a decent amount of free time this year, so
nice.
pretty
What
fortunate
year?
in that. I'm a second year.
Yeah, I'm a second year as well, actually. But second year tends to be the busiest year for us in the program.
See, first year is like brutal for us, and then all the professors like don't care because you survive first year, and they're like, okay. Okay, so right away we want to look at the enemy team comp the lane we're against. So we're probably it's Varus and Nunu. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So we want to be careful. Corki is actually good against Nunu because if he reduces your attack speed, you can still trade really well with your phospho bombs.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fine. But the big thing is like we don't want to let them get free damage. And if Varus ever gets like blight stacks on you, you want to back out until they fall off. And try to juke like whatever he's going to use to pop those blight stacks because they hurt. But in general, you know, we don't want to try not to trade if like Nunu snowballs you. But if Nunu like goes in and snowballs me, like that's a really good time to trade. But
right.
I'm gonna try to get a lot of free damage. Generally, like how you want to play Sona is you want to sit in the bush and you want to try to get Q power chord off on them and then run away, and it's a lot of free poke. And if we can coordinate to where you hit them with a phospho bomb and an auto attack right when I hit my Q and power chord, that's gonna chunk someone for probably about 60% of their HP. And so that's gonna be extremely strong if we're able to coordinate that.
Right.
And so just in general, like I'm gonna look for when their AD carry is going in for a last hit, and that's when I'm gonna try to do most of my harass. And so just kind of, you know, be aware and try to follow up with that.
Okay, sounds good.
But in general, like we want to play this poking. Like we don't really want to full on engage them until they get low.
So we're playing more of a poke comp instead of like a burst comp.
Yep, we want to do short pokes. So we don't want to get an extended trade because between Blood Boil and Nunu's attack speed slow, that's not something we want to deal with. The longer a trade goes, the worse it's going to be for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so our ideal trade is we both use abilities, get one auto attack, and then we back out.
Okay. Now I have a friend that is like 2300 and he plays a lot too. And what he told me was that when he was watching me and my cousin do a lot of duel, he was saying that I shouldn't be the one that's making the plays. I should just be concentrating on CSing, and then the support is the one that should be making the plays happen. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's in general how it should go. I'm actually gonna hoard this. That's in general how it should go. Your support should be the one making plays, and AD just focuses on last hitting. That's probably the best way to do it.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Because I think traditionally, me and my cousin have been doing. I'm making the plays, and then he just follows up.
No, you definitely you want your support to be really active because I mean your support's not last hitting, right? So like they're not doing anything.
Right.
They should be the one who's really looking for when to engage, when to initiate trades, that kind of stuff. But it also depends on what kind of supports and everything. But in pretty much every matchup, your support's going to be the one who has the ability to force the plays anyway. Like as Corki, you can't force anything. Like you can go crazy and Valkyrie in, and that's about it.
Right.
So yeah, let's do these. And there you're set. That's okay. We probably could have done that smoother, but whatever. So I have power cord up. I'm gonna look to harass. He started blood boil, so Nunu's effectively useless right now. So if we can be aggressive, then that's good.
Okay.
Our lane is gonna push to their tower just by if you use your Q or if I ever use mine, we're instantly gonna cause it to push. So we don't really want to worry too much about our lane pushing, because we're gonna be pushed to their tower pretty much no matter what.
Right.
But definitely with Corki, never make sure you're never full mana. So if your mana gets full, just use an ability for harass.
Okay.
Yeah, if your mana's full, you're not taking advantage of the mana regen you have, however much that is. So right there, you definitely should have gotten a Q on them.
Right.
Just don't be afraid. Corki harass is really strong, especially against a lane with no sustain. And so there, once you get hit with that Nunu snowball, just back out until the attack speed debuff wears off. And then you can trade much more effectively once that's no longer on you.
Okay.
So you kind of Sarvaris got 5 hits on you, and you didn't get a single auto attack.
Right.
And that's where that comes from. But Skarner snuck into the bush. Oh damn, they just worded that. That was good. Good sense by the Nunu. Actually gonna get Dragon Warded, so just be careful real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so we're in a really good position. Varus has already used one potion, and like I said, they don't have any sustain, so we want to keep up the harass. We win this lane. This is actually a really good matchup for us because we keep the harass up, and they have no sustain. So just keep on phosphor bombing. Just like that. And see, that wasn't even with my power cord, and that did about half of his max HP. So that's we want to be aggressive in this lane and really bully. I have power cord up, so we should go once these minions die. Try to get Varus right now. Or settle on Nunu. But make sure you never, I mean, you obviously always want to have enough mana to Valkyrie, so just watch your mana and never go lower than Valkyrie mana cost.
Right.
But like we're in a good position right now. Varus is out of potions now, and you still have 2 potions, so we're gonna win this lane just by attrition if they don't get help soon.
Sounds like an ad popping up. That's me, right?
We need to do something stickier.
So this Varus is actually already being zoned. Like he's too afraid to get close to some of these creeps. It's like he's gonna go for that minion, and there you go. Right when he goes in that minion, hit that harass. That was good. So that's when you see Nunu snowball me like that, that's your cue. Like you can just right click that Varus.
Okay.
So we probably could have forced a summoner right there. Looks like this is no longer awarded, so I'm gonna go for a slow on this Varus. You should Valkyrie in if I hit it.
Okay.
And if he doesn't, like, this is actually really good. Like he steps up, he's gonna die, or he gets zoned.
But don't Valkyrie in if you don't hit the slow.
Right.
Okay.
And this is like really really good right now. Like we're gonna full zone him. Like we don't have to do anything right now. Literally just keep it like this, and he's gonna miss like at least 3 creeps every wave. Oh, we're getting ganked. I gotta play that much better. Oh well. Run away! Nice. So we live. Pick up the kill. I'll do it. So good job. But I mean, you kind of see like your support is kind of the one that leads all of this in the lane, and so this is like the dynamic you want to get going.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is kind of the communication that you should definitely have. Like,
Right.
make sure you're on the same page and like establish things like, okay, if I do this, then we go in there. Like especially like against if you're ever playing against Blitzcrank, like you need to have a plan for when either one of you gets hooked, because like you're gonna get hooked eventually when you play against Blitzcrank.
Right.
And so you need to have a plan. You need to be like, okay, if I get hooked, do this. If you get hooked, do this. Like, and it's one thing that's really important. Like, you need to be ready and have your plan ahead of time, so that you react in the same way. Because like a lot of situations, if you like, you don't have time to figure out what the other person is doing and react accordingly.
Right.
But so we hit level 6 first. This is actually a really big advantage on us. So I'm just gonna ult this Varus right here. Good job. And so this is another thing that is really important, like level advantages, like key level advantages you really want to take advantage of. Like right there, being level 6 first is huge. And then it's also being level 2 first, like getting double golems in your blue side is a massive advantage. And if you're a very aggressive lane, like if you're like Taric Draven, you like if you're coordinated and you just all in them the second you hit level 2, like both of you flash on top of them, you're pretty much gonna kill them. And there's very little they can do about it.
Okay.
And so that's one thing you always want to take a note in your lane is like pay attention to key level advantages and exploit them.
All right. Got it.
We should be careful right now. I don't have any wards up, and I don't know where they are. I think they might be in our jungle or something.
Should we go take double golems?
Yep. Taking doubles is fine right now. I'm still really scared. Okay, there's TF. I'm gonna get dragon warded. You should be okay. Yeah, there's Nunu. I think, did they do dragon? Nah. Yeah, I think they did actually. I need to get it cleared.
Has been slain.
Oh no, they didn't. Okay, that was weird. They just like ran that way. Okay, I have ult in 45 seconds, so I'm gonna play a little passive until then.
Okay.
But still, we want to keep up the poke game. So just poke, get poke hard, and then back out. But Lee Sin's coming. So try to get some of those last hits with missiles if you can. So one thing that's really nice about Corki is it's really hard to like deny him. But this is going to push back for us really well if we don't AoE this wave, and we can start zoning this forest again. You have Phage, he has Double Doran, so you're not really that far ahead of him item-wise, but we can still afford to be aggressive because our comp is better just in like a straight fight. And I have ult in 2 seconds now, so I'm probably thin this wave out a little bit, so like fossil bomb the minions and kill this wave because we want to freeze it out of turret. We don't want it to hit the turret, so we want to freeze it like right about here. Okay, so I have ult. I'm gonna look to ult soon. Looks like Skarner's coming. He's gonna get some easy damage. Yeah, I like. Oh shit, Skarner's here. I'm gonna exhaust TF, just go on TF. Good job. Alright, so that was good. Now we can get Dragon. It's kind of scary for you though, since you're low. I don't even think we need you for it, so you might just want to base. Like Lee Sin will kill you if he lands a Q on you.
Right.
So I would just base. Like I don't think we need you. Yeah, get some rocket damage maybe. That's a good idea. Oh my god, we still got it at least. I'm pretty sure Lee Sin missed this, or Skarner missed the smite, but it's okay. Alright, so that worked well. Yeah, so at this point, I mean, we have a massive advantage. Like, you're 30 CS up, you're 3-0, he's 0-3. The big thing, like, if you get an advantage like this is you have to press that advantage. Like, League of Legends is a game about turning small advantages into bigger and bigger advantages. It's very snowbally. And so, like, if you get an advantage like this in a lane and go 3-0, and you don't do anything with that advantage, like, we keep him just at 30 CS behind, and we don't kill him anymore, like, you're pretty much throwing away your advantage. And it's a lot worse than it seems. Like, you always have to keep the snowball going. Like, the second the snowball stops, you stop carrying the game. Especially, like, this is especially relevant in solo queue.
Right.
Like, I've done a lot of replay analysis, and a lot of them... Okay, Lee Sin's here. So just be careful. Don't play, like, drastically differently. We want to waste his time as much as possible.
Right.
But, you know, he's here. I'm going to ward that so he can't come into that rush. But pretty much we just pretend like we don't know he's here. Yeah, tank this. Oh, he came around the back. Oh no, I don't have ult yet. Okay, this is bad.
Oh, that's not good.
I got me now. I have ult in 3 seconds, so I'm gonna kill these guys if they stay. Oh, he didn't get turret aggro though, shit. Oh well. Whatever, that's fine. Oh, he just died. Lol.
Oh, wow. I think I picked up a bunch of assists there too.
Yeah, that's worked really well for us. I'm 4-0 and 5. Don't worry about it. Alright, so you always have to consider how other lanes are doing. Like, their Singed is doing pretty well. Double gold for 10, he's not getting zoned or anything. So, you know, that's something that's scary as an AD carry. As far as build goes, like, Triforce is really good because we're winning the lane so hard.
Right.
Now, I don't know what you want to build now, maybe a Bloodthirster. Infinity Edge isn't as good as Corki since they nerfed his passive. I think BT is probably the best option.
after Triforce.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. What do you normally build?
I usually go for the Infinity Edge actually, and then I usually go for the Last Whisper.
Yeah, that was like old build.
Hmm.
But since I nerfed his passive so it doesn't scale off crits anymore, I like BT a lot on Corki. But really either way works.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm not there. Yeah, be very careful. You don't want to get Varus stunned. Okay, I'm here. Just go on Lee Sin. Go on Nunu. Cat's here to clean up. Alright, well that turned out really well. So overall, like, your play's been pretty solid this game. Like, your CS is pretty good. I mean, it could always be better.
Right.
Like, especially, like, we've had almost no pressure against us, so you really should, like, if you're playing perfect, like, you should have literally perfect CS. We've had, like, very little pressure against us. But, like, it's pretty good. Like, I'm just nitpicking at this point, you know? Just, like, be a little more aggressive with harass, though, is a big thing. Like, you're really stingy with your Qs in lane early. And, you know, just let them fly. Like, that's how you dominate a lane like Varus Nunu, who has no sustain, is just through heavy poke.
Okay. God.
But we should start looking to, well, mid this push. I don't know. We're really, really dominating our lane, so things should be good. I have ult up, so like as soon as we get in lane, I'm just gonna ult Varus. And you have double buffs, so like they're pushed up. They just are gonna die right now.
Right.
Like, I'm just going hard on Varus as soon as I get there. Lee Sin might be in the lane brushes, but we can probably 3v2 them honestly. Alright, here you go. I'm flashing for it. Alright, nice work. Yeah, so if you ever get this far ahead in lane, like, you should just kill them whenever they're in lane, pretty much.
Right.
Like, it's really silly that they're even still trying. And also, if you're dominating the lane this hard, you really want to just control Dragon. So like 1835 is Dragon. So like, we should just get this Dragon. But Skarner's going top. So, I don't know what he's doing.
But we can just get it, right, since Lee Sin is in mid?
Yeah, as long as, you know, Lee Sin doesn't start coming, we should be fine. But I mean, I have Oracles, like, they don't have it supported. Just a little thing, like, if you ever two-man Dragon like this, try to have your support tank it, because it reduces your attack speed of whoever's tanking it. So
right.
You obviously don't want your AD carry doing that then. Okay, so now that we took their turret bottom, what we can do is we can either keep just shoving bottom and putting a lot of pressure on the lane, and what that does is that takes pressure off all our other lanes. Like, Lee Sin is going to be forced to come bottom a lot, or they're going to lose that second tier tower. Which is probably a good idea because I have 5 wards and Shirelias right now, so like, we're going to be really hard to catch.
Right.
So that's probably what we should do in this situation. We should just stay bot and just keep tons of pressure on that lane. If you do that, you need to make sure you have really good vision. That's like the biggest thing. And also, like, if you're able to communicate with the rest of your team, tell your team to keep pressure on their lanes too. Because if we push bottom really hard and our team is like farming our jungle, they're just gonna 5-man gank us.
Right.
Especially with a TF, it's really scary. So we have to be really careful about showing this deep if we don't know where TF is, and if like there's no pressure in mid lane. Like right now, there's no pressure in mid lane. So there's a really good chance that if we show, TF could come for us because he's pretty much in ult range.
Right.
But okay, I think we should go on Varus. I have ult. I'm gonna ult him. And I'm gonna KS you. Don't worry about it. So yeah, we can just get this turret. Okay, we need to run, we need to run. So this is good. Okay, just blow up TF. And then I'm gonna... We can turn. I have exhaust. We just keep the pressure bottom, and it's gonna let our team like take top and mid.
Right.
And this is really what you need to do when you get this far ahead. Yeah, we just keep the pressure. Alright, I'm slow. I guess just slow down, yeah. I did so much damage to him. I love Sona when you get ahead. It's not even fair. You can just like 1v1 80 carries. Yep, same old game. We just want to keep the pressure on. I'm just gonna slow Nunu. Or whoever I can. Ideally Varus, but TF's ult will be down for a little bit, so we have a little bit of breathing room here. At least into. So we just run away. If he runs this way, we just turn on him right here. I have all in 3 seconds. We just kite, and we can keep fighting. I still have exhaust, so. Oh shit, Singe's here. Run! Alright. And yeah, that's pretty much all what we're gonna do for the rest of the game is just sit bottom. And they can't really do much. We're too mobile for them to catch, so.
A summoner has disconnected.
No, that's not good. Oh my gosh, what is this chase doing? Okay, we have to be careful about going bottom right now because they might Baron.
A summoner has reconnected.
So we need to go ahead and check the Baron, pretty much. But I don't think they'd be doing it without Nunu. Okay, it looks like someone was bottom. Yeah, Varus is bottom. We could actually maybe do this. I'm gonna go mid, try to save this cat, but yeah, you should clear that top and just get that pushing.
Has been destroyed.
I guess Garner wants us to gank for us.
Should I keep pushing or should I come back?
Yeah, just keep pushing. We're fine. Yep, just keep pushing. Ideally, we'll stop them from recalling, and you can just get that turret for free. Yeah, pretty much like, if you're actively pushing a lane, you generally don't have to do anything else. Like, that is always a legitimate, like, use of your character, to just actively push a lane. Like, if you're pressuring towers. So, like, yeah, we're fighting, but we don't need you. And you're pushing, so that's good. And, like, it's on your team to not get in a bad fight that we can't win without you. Because, like, we know you're pushing top, so.
Right.
I mean, ideally, right? In solo queue, who knows? But I'm gonna come to you. Okay. So, we can siege this turret some. Actually, we should probably just back out and force Baron. Like, we're so far ahead. Why are people saying we can't Baron? You're 9 and 1. So there we go. We forced TF ult just because they don't have vision. Like, having complete vision control of Baron is really powerful because it forces them to walk up to check it, or we get free Baron. Like, that's how it works. So we should really just be, like, sitting on Baron. Okay, now we just push mid. Or I guess we can Baron. Baron's probably the safer bet. I'm just bored of this game. Yeah, so we should back out in Baron. Like, Baron is easy right now because there's so many of them are dead. And with Baron, we can get towers really easily with our team.
Right.
So TF ult is going to come soon. Just keep Baron deeps. Let Singe be annoying. Yep, there we go. Now we can buy and then regroup. Stay together for TF ult. Okay. Anyway, so I mean, this game was a blowout. There's the surrender. But do you have any questions?
No, not really. I just like how it was more you making the plays rather than the AD making the plays, because that's something that we haven't really done at all. It's usually I'm the one that's making the plays when I'm dueling. When I'm doing a duel with my cousin.
Yeah.
It's so much more easier on me. I feel like my CSing was a little better than it usually was because I don't have to like constantly thinking about what's the next move and how I can, like, attack them and then possibly lose a CS here or there because I'm harassing them. Like, I can just leave it up to you. Then once you engage, I can just follow up.
Yeah, and that's really how it should be. And I mean, you can see why. Like, it lets you CS easier. You know, it really takes all the pressure off of you.
Right.
And so, you know, it lets you do your job and get farmed up. And so that's how the lane should go. And like I said, like, the biggest things I saw with your play is just don't be so stingy with harass early.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially like in that lane, like, you know, I talked about how we want to play that. We want to be like quick hit and run harass. And so that's how you win that lane with this matchup with Sona Corki versus, you know, Varus Nunu, or Sona Corki versus anyone with no sustain. Like, you, or pretty much anytime you're going to play a Sona Corki like that, you're going to just try to get big burst damage chunk and then back out and then just rinse and repeat.
Right.
Until they get low, and then you all in. So, and then, but just like general tips for you working with, since you are like, you have a support that you want to work with, is just work on those communications, and like when to engage is really big. So, like that, you know, we got back into lane, we were level 6 and they weren't. Like, that's you exploit the hell out of that. Like, that is a huge advantage, hitting level 6 before your enemies.
Right.
And so, you know, we just use that and we just go big and we like insta-killed them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And you can do, and like I said, one of the biggest things is if you're blue side and you take double golems, you're going to hit level 2 first before them. And if you get that level 2 and you're with some, like if you're with a support that has a really strong level 2, like a Leona or a Taric or a Alistar or a Blitzcrank, Like you hit that level 2, you coordinate it, so you're communicating. So whoever, like, probably your support is going to hit level 2 second. So communicate and, you know, have your support be like, okay, I'm going to hit level 2 on this creep, get ready to go. And then you hit that creep and you instantly go, you can get free kills on people that don't expect it.
Right. But the AD is gonna hit level 2 before the support, and then for the support to level 2, their AD is gonna hit level 2 normally, right?
So that's why. Well, one thing you can do is you can make sure your support is close enough to get XP on the double golem kills. Or
Right.
you can just push your lane a little bit, kill the creeps a little faster than they do, and that'll, you know, you'll get the XP first.
That's true too. So generally, when you're blue side and you're doing double golems, should the XP be shared with the support? Like, should the support be close enough to get that XP?
Probably, if you have like with Sona, it's not a big deal because like my level 2 isn't that great. But if you have like a really strong level 2 support, I think definitely it might even be worth like giving them the little golem. Because like getting that support level 2 on like an Alistar or a Leona or Taric is so big.
I never really thought about that, sharing the XP with the support, but yeah, that's another thing I can start thinking about too.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that game was a blowout.
Right.
But do you at least feel like you learned something?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that I can now think more about that I wasn't really thinking about as much before, so that was pretty helpful.
Okay.
Anything else you see that I should probably work on aside from more aggressive early on?
That game's hard to say because like there wasn't really any team fighting. It was just like you were so strong, you just two-shot everyone.
Right.
So I mean, I don't really have much else to say. You know, it just hit a point where, you know, after like 10 minutes we were just so far ahead, nothing we did mattered.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. But I mean, you played well. Like you see us pretty well. I mean, of course, there's always room to improve. Like if you miss a single CS, that's something to improve on. So, but yeah, just being a little more aggressive with the harassing.
Should we get another game and see what else?
I have to practice with my team soon.
Okay.
So I don't really have time for another. But if you have any questions, we can have like a little Q&A session if you want. Any other questions? I know you already asked some. But.
None that I can really think about come up with off the top of my head.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't think of any at the moment.
Okay.
But if I do come up with any, I'll ask you.
Yeah, I mean, feel free. Just ask me anytime I'm online. I'm AFK a lot in the client, but no. One thing you guys can definitely do is if you have a game of you playing with your support, you know, send it in to me, and I'll be happy to do like a replay analysis of it, and I can really talk about. That's probably honestly one of the best ways I can help you guys out with your play together.
Okay.
Aside from like, I think it would be really effective if I could like watch a stream of you guys while you're playing and give you like live feedback. But the second best thing would be a replay.
Right.
And if you want to do that, like especially like a replay where either you guys thought you played well early and couldn't end up carrying the game, or a replay where like you lost the lane but you're not really sure what you should have done differently, would be the best thing.
Okay. I know he records pretty much all of our games, so
Okay.
So I'm sure we'll get some games. I know he's going to be coming on, and I think you're on Eastern time zone, right?
Yeah, I am.
So you're like 3 hours ahead of me right now. It's what, 9:49 is my guess.
Yep.
So he'll be on at your time at 8 my time, so that means 11 your time. So I guess I'll try to get some games with him and then get some replays. And
Okay.
if you're available later tonight, we can send over some replays to you. But if not, then I'll just catch you some other time.
Yeah, probably won't be tonight. But we'll
okay. Sounds good to me. All right, thanks for all your help today.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, the big thing, like, talk to your support about getting him to really lead the lane. I really think it's important, you know? Like, your support doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, if they're not, like, being aggressive and initiating trades and all that kind of stuff, then they're effectively just sitting there and you're 1v2ing the lane.
Yeah, that's the biggest. I feel like the biggest difference between how I felt when I was playing with him and how I felt when I was playing with you. With you, I felt like I could just really focus on CSing and just worry about following up. But with him, I felt like I had like so many more things I had to do.
Yeah. And so, I mean, part of that is because we did get such a big advantage. Like, if you get an advantage with Sona, you can literally, like, 1v1 their AD carry.
Right.
And it's just insane. Like, if you get an advantage with Sona, the lane's almost over. But, you know, if he's playing Sona, like, tell him to be aggressive with poke.
Right.
Because if, as Sona, like, you run up, you Q power chord, and then run away with W, and that will outtrade anyone.
But with Tarek, he can't really do that because if he runs up and stun and tries to run close to them to shatter, then it's all out.
Right.
It's almost like we're committing.
Tarek is much different. Tarek, you have to really commit if you go in. And so, and you also have to decide like when to commit and when not. So like one thing you can do is he can just stun whoever. It freezes them, lets you get damage, you know, and then you back out. You don't commit on that stun, but you get harass damage out of that stun. So that's still good. So with Tarek, one of the things you really have to work on is like what stuns do you go all the way in on and what you don't.
Like what stuns he actually runs in the shatter and what stuns he just stuns for me to harass.
Right. And one thing you can do is like if you get double golem advantage because you're blue side and you hit level 2 first, like you can have Tarek stun and then immediately flash on top of them and W and you immediately flash on them too. So like if Tarek lands a stun, Tarek flashes, W's and exhausts them and you flash too, like flash on top of them. And you're going to guarantee that you burn their summoners at least and very high probability of getting a kill. If you just completely all in them the second you turn level 2.
See, I never really thought about that. I thought about hitting level 2 and then just doing some like hardcore trading and just like get an advantage, but I never really thought about flashing on top of them at level 2.
Yeah, this is something I just learned when I was playing with our old AD carry. He got me to do it. And we were doing it with like Tarek Draven, and it was ridiculous.
Right,
like
because
we just all into Sona at level 2. Like I stunned her and we just both flashed all in, and she like instantly flashed but still died.
See, and then you also use the exhaust.
Yep, the exhaust. So when they flash, they don't get very far.
See, and it doesn't matter if you're taking the support or the AD. It's just whoever walks up to you when you're level 2.
Ideally the AD.
Right.
But you know, in that situation, I got Sona because the Ezreal was too far away.
Yeah, we'll probably work on doing that a little bit too.
It just goes back to like the whole, you know, like level advantages can be very powerful in lane, and so pay attention to them.
Right.
Especially like level 2 is a huge one because you go from 1 ability to 2, and like that's such a massive power difference. And the same thing with level 6 first, like you gain an ultimate on them, and like that's so significant.
Yeah.
And it extends to other lanes too, like top lane. If you push your lane a little bit early, like if you're a really strong early champ like Riven, and you push your lane just a little bit, just enough to hit level 2 before they do, and you just all in them at level 2. Like that's very common for Rivens to do. So just stuff to consider. Like always keep in mind experience advantages.
So what's the typical thing for the bot lane to do if you're playing with your AD and you guys are behind? Do you guys just try to freeze it by the tower and then farm passively and wait for ganks, or do you guys play more aggressively in hopes of getting a kill and then evening out the advantage?
No, that's the worst thing you can do. Is try to feel like I'm behind, I have to get a kill to even it up. Like that's literally the worst thing you can do.
So it's better to just play really passive and then wait.
Exactly. Because the thing is like you can't be aggressive. You're behind. Like they have to make a huge mistake for you to capitalize on that if you're behind.
Right.
And chances are they're not doing that. So you can't try to force something because unless it's really good, all that's going to do is set you even further behind. And this is that whole snowball thing I talked about, right?
Right.
If you just stop snowball and you just play passively farming, you don't widen how far behind you are, you're winning. Like you are closing that gap even though it doesn't look like it. Because that's how law works. Like
right, because as time goes on, if they're not snowballing, then the initial gap is like insignificant.
Exactly. So that's how it works. It's very you win games by snowballing, and if you're behind and you prevent it from snowballing even further, that's good enough. You can come back just from that. You don't have to get crazy and try to get like a kill to get back in the game. You just have to stop the snowball.
Okay. What else? I think the biggest reason we've been having me pretty much do the CSing and the initiating and the engaging and the harassing and him doing the follow up because I feel like for us at least, I'm better at assessing the situation and positioning than he is.
Yeah.
So what I'm afraid of is maybe if he's the one that's like making the plays, but then he goes like really aggressive at the wrong time, then I'll be forced to commit or he dies, and then if it's an inoptimal situation, then we might both die or one of us will die.
But that's how you learn. You learn from your mistakes, and you learn like if he goes aggressive in a bad situation, you guys get double killed. You just reevaluate and you think, okay, why did that go bad? Like why was that bad? And then you learn, and that's how it works. Like you don't learn how to engage properly without engaging horribly multiple times.
Right.
And so
Yes.
if that is a situation where like you feel like you should be calling because you're understanding situations better,
Mhm.
it's something that he needs to learn if he wants to play support. Like that is the single most important thing about playing support is understanding the limits of the champions and when to engage, because that's effectively like your role.
Right. So pretty much that. So I'm kind of doing part of his role
Yeah.
as the person that's like initiating, engaging, and making plays happen.
Yeah. And like the thing is like you can't really initiate or engage as an AD carry. Like you can start right clicking them. That's pretty much the extent of your initiation, right? And that's not really an initiate. Like they can just run away from that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know. The only way I'm thinking you can possibly initiate with an AD carry is if you pull some like crazy tumble condemn move on Vayne.
Hmm.
That's or like if you're Ashe and you arrow. Like there's an exception. If you're Ashe, your job is to initiate with your arrow. But other than that, like you can't initiate as an AD carry. You can right click them. That's about it.
All right. I'm thinking more in terms of maybe initiate's the wrong word there. Maybe I'm more talking about engaging. I'm usually
No,
like
no, I get what you're saying. More in terms of like when to go aggressive in the lane, like
yeah,
when to force a trade or and stuff like
yeah.
that.
The one that's like really aware of like the situation, and I'm the one that starts attacking first. I'm like, okay, you gotta go in now. I'm attacking them.
Yeah, and
He goes in.
that's something that's like it's really important if you have someone that you're often playing bottom lane with to establish is just this idea where like you always go at the same time even without communicating.
Mhm.
Like you can always go at the same time, and it's something like you really have to watch your lane partner in lane, and like bottom lane is different than all the other lanes because bottom lane you're always keeping track of 4 champions.
Right.
And you always have to keep in mind like what is your support doing, where are they, what is their support doing, where are they. So like if it's ever a situation where like their AD is up and their support is like behind in the brush, you can just go on that AD carry real quick for like heavy harass, and you're going to come out ahead because their support isn't going to be there in time, and then you just back out and you get that advantage.
Right.
So like it's very important in bottom lane to just be like on the same plane of the lane. Like you guys have to be the same distance away from the enemy champions. That's something that's really important.
Hmm.
Like if you can't be like significantly ahead or behind your support, because that just causes either one of you to get chunked without being able to return the proper amount of damage. So
Right. So you would for your advice for him, if he's the ones that's usually not making the plays and not making the things happen, the next step for him would be to improve on that and be able to evaluate the situation better so that he can actually start making the plays and
yeah, definitely. Like
see us.
when you play support, like bottom lane is your lane. Like you are the master of bottom lane when you're playing support. That's how it should be. And if he doesn't feel like it's his lane, he needs to step it up.
Right.
Like I really think it's important. Because like at the end of the day, support is not that difficult mechanically. Like you have to use your abilities correctly. and just about the most difficult mechanical thing is like proper exhaust timings.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, that's not terribly difficult. And
Right.
so really what separates like good supports from like bad supports is your decision making and your control of the lane and ability to assess every situation. So like if he feels like his mechanics are solid, he doesn't need to work on that. What you need to work on support is just your knowledge of the game and different situations. And like I said, like you learn that by just trying things and figuring out if it worked or not.
Mhm. So here's something that we struggle with a lot. When we're against blitz lanes
Uh-huh.
and then we fall behind, we just fall apart from there most of the time. Like sometimes we come back, but we tend to fall more and more behind once we're behind against a blitz.
Yeah.
And then the blitz starts zoning us, and then it makes it really difficult for me to get in to get any CS. And then I just fall behind more and more in CS. Or
Yeah.
if I risk to get the CS, then I get pulled or something like that.
And that's
Or
something that's common. Like anytime you fall behind a really aggressive lane, like it doesn't even have to be a blitz. Like the same thing can happen if you fall behind against a Leona or fall behind against a Taric. Or we just saw it in that game. They fell behind against Sona and we just killed them like every time my ultimate was up, right?
Mhm.
And so like in that situation, you just have to really just play passive, farm up, and try not to die. Like it just goes back, you gotta stop the snowball. So like against Blitz, you need to keep his bush warded. You know, if he can't sit in the bush, it's going to be a lot harder for him to land hooks. And you have to freeze the lane because if you're pushed up to their tower, Blitz doesn't even need to hit a hook. He just presses W and runs at you, and you can't get away from that. And so it's a combination of like proper lane control. So you have to freeze the lane at your tower, and like if you can't, like let's say they have the lane frozen at their tower, just go
Right.
roam. Just try to force something mid. You know, like the worst thing you can do is just step back in that lane and die again. So try to put
Even
pressure
as
elsewhere on the lane.
even as the AD, just leave the lane in and try
I mean,
to
if your options are go back in the lane and die, or try to force something mid, then you should just try to force something mid.
right.
You know, eventually that lane is going to push back to your tower. You know, unless it's like
So say-
hardcore frozen.
So say if the lane is at the midway point, say near the river area, and the lane is kind of frozen there. As the AD, I shouldn't be trying to like maybe like risk to try to get a CS here or there and hope to dodge the hooks. I should just
No, like
sacrifice the CS there
you
and
should be able to farm from there pretty safely. Like if you're properly warding like against Blitz's bush, and like you should be okay there.
then.
Like, I mean, and this kind of goes back, like, you have to have a plan when you're playing against Blitzcrank. Like, you have to have a plan, like, okay, if he hooks my support, I'm going balls deep on their AD carry. That's the general, like, strategy against Blitz. If he hooks your
Right.
support, you go all in on their AD carry, and you just force him to back up.
Yeah.
And if you get hooked, then the support instantly exhausts their AD carry. Like, that needs to be the plan. That way you guys always have, like, ready to do.
Mhm.
And like that helps a lot with dealing with blitz. If you're able to react to getting pulled like in the right way, that helps a lot. But if you do like get behind, I mean just, you know, passively try to farm, try to get the lane frozen at your tower, and just try not to get engaged on. And if the lane is at the midpoint, you should be able to get some CS, but like just the big thing is like if you find yourself getting fully zoned of CS and XP, like then why are you in the lane? No, there's no
Right.
reason to be in the lane if you're getting fully zoned. So you might as well just go try to force something mid or something like that.
Mhm. I think maybe we've been messing up with that a lot because I think we get fully zoned sometimes, and then I think we try to stick around to hopefully get some CS even though we're fully zoned, and when we do that, then we get caught, and then they snowball some more. So that's probably what we have to work on as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like if you hit that point, you need to work on not getting to that point.
Right.
Like getting to that point should not be a common enough occurrence to where that's your goal and what to work on. Like if you hit that point, you've made serious mistakes in the game. It's really hard to get fully zoned from bot lane. So
So you think that if their AD gets like maybe the first 2 kills on us, say they get first blood and then kill the support or whatever, like kills me and then kills support. Do you think that 2 advantage is enough for them to fully zone us? Because that happens sometimes to us.
I don't think so, because like it's all in what items the AD carry has, right? So
Right.
in most AD carries, you're going to save up for that BF sword. So a lot of early kills don't translate into an item advantage. Like they get 2 Dorans. Like let's say you die when they have boots and 2 Dorans. Okay, that's 300 gold towards their BF sword. They're still not going to have that BF sword for a long time, right? So a lot of times kills like early in bot lane don't actually translate into an item advantage. And so just really pay attention to what the item advantage looks like, because you may be like down 3 kills, but oftentimes that doesn't even translate into an advantage for them yet. But then you have to be careful, because when they do hit that BF sword, they get a large power like jump.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you have to really be careful about that. But like early kills in bottom lane can be like damaging, but not like significantly so. Like you should only get like fully zoned bot lane if you die, and then like you go back into lane and you die again, and you get behind like 2 levels and like 600 gold.
Right.
That's when things get really bad. But like 1 death or 1 mistake bot lane shouldn't be enough to zone you. But like 2 in a row is probably gonna zone you.
And say if we're behind in gold, and they've killed us like 1 or 2 times, should our game plan, like, is this an okay game plan to just shove the lane and just not let them go back to buy, if we know that they have a large gold advantage?
Yeah,
on
definitely. Like, yeah, if you know they're sitting on a ton of gold and you just bought, you probably actually have an item advantage on them. And then yeah, you do not want to let them recall. But like you have to be careful anytime you shove the lane, obviously, of like jungle and mid pressure. But yeah,
Because-
you never want to let them recall if you know they're sitting on a lot of gold.
Mhm. Because I don't know, because it's kind of weird, because at that point I guess we're behind in gold, but not behind in items yet.
Right.
So
So you're not behind at
we
all.
so we shouldn't play passive at that point. Like even
Exactly.
though we're like technically behind, we still shouldn't be playing passive. We should just play aggressive, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they just like double killed you, and then you come back in the lane and you buy, and they haven't bought yet, and all of a sudden you find you're like up a Doran's. Like yeah, you should be super aggressive, because you're actually ahead right now in the lane. So
Right.
always like the only thing that matters is like what items people have, and levels. And levels aren't like all that significant bot lane, except like the big ones like 6.
Right.
And so yeah, they may be sitting on like they might have 1,000 gold advantage on you, but they're saving for that BF sword. Like you guys both just bought your boots 2 double Dorans, and yeah, they have 1,000 gold in the bank and you have 0 gold in the bank, but you guys are even strength, so don't play passive.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, I should probably get going now.
All right. Thanks a lot for your help.
Yep, sounds good. And yeah, if you have any questions, just hit me up.
Got it. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.